Okay, so let's take a look at this first one. It says angle 4 and angle 7 are supplementary. Prove to me that the lines are parallel. Now I need you to think back to yesterday, not that long ago. What did we use to prove lines parallel?
They're supplementary.
Someone might have said it. You all talked. The converse. Okay, so this is a new key component to look out for in a proof. If they're asking you to prove lines are parallel, your last step is going to be a converse, but the converse of what? Okay, so we got to figure out what converse we're working with. So step 1, always the given. You are welcome to just put a circle around yours right now and draw an arrow to that first spot since you can't copy and paste right now. If you want to write it out, you're welcome to write it out too. The reason for that? For that first step, what's your reason? Given. Okay, so it's telling us that 4 and 7 are supplementary. Take note of that. Your last step, which I'll tell you right now is step 4, is going to be what? J is parallel to K. All right, so your job is to figure out how did we get from here, to here in 4 steps. What steps could get us there? Now, do we know the lines are parallel? No, that's what we're trying to prove. So here's the issue with this. You're not allowed to use alternate interior angles or corresponding angles or any of that because we don't know the lines are parallel. You're allowed to use those if you know the lines are parallel. We don't. So we got to find another way. So I know that 4 and 7 are supplementary. Your job is figure out what else relates to either 4 or 7 in a way that we can kind of manipulate things a little bit. Okay? Any thoughts? 5 and what?
5 and 2.
No. We don't know lines are parallel, so we can't use any of those. If they don't tell us that, we can't use alternate interior, same side interior, corresponding. None of it works because we don't know the lines are parallel. Yeah, Cece.
How can you tell that 4 and 7 are supplementary?
They told us they are. So that's just like, hey, by the way, 4 and 7 are supplementary. It's your given statement, so you're allowed to assume it, even though it's not one of the types of angles that we're used to.
When you look at, genuinely, when you look at something and it doesn't tell you it's supplementary, how would you?
I mean, how would you? A straight
That's not
line, right? A straight line would tell you supplementary. But you can't just look at this angle and that angle and say, oh, those look supplementary. I bet they are. They had to tell you, which is why they did, right? They gave it to you as a given. Do you know anything about these two? They're supplementary. Oh, that's so interesting. Angle 6 and angle 7 are supplementary, but why? How do you know 6 and 7? I didn't even mean to do that, by the way. I didn't mean to. How do you know that 6 and 7 are supplementary? Not same side. Can't use any of those. Not alternate interior. What are these two angles? They're a linear pair. Those you don't need parallel lines for, right? So you can say because they are a linear pair, they're supplementary. Now, take it way back. You were given a reasons bank for all the proofs we did last chapter. We didn't do a lot with this reason, but let me point something out to you. If I tell you that 4 and 7 are supplementary and 6 and 7 are supplementary, then we had a theorem that said something about those two angles. What was it? Daniel. Those two angles, if they're supplementary to the same angle, then they are congruent to each other. So your third step is to say angle 4 is congruent to angle 6 by the congruent supplements theorem. Okay, let me give you a for instance. If I have a 60-degree angle here and I say, oh, this is not 120. This one's 120. Oh, and by the way, over here, this one's 120, right? If these are supplementary and those are supplementary, these will always be equal. That is the congruent supplements theorem, okay? So if they are supplementary to the same angle, 7, then they are congruent to each other by the congruent supplements theorem. Now look at your picture. We just said that 4 is congruent to 6. AIA. This is the converse of alternate interior angles. You prove lines parallel with the converse. Isn't that so beautiful? I love proving things. Okay, look at number 2. It says A is parallel to B. I would mark it because it's helpful when you can just see that things are parallel. So put your little arrows on there. And it says that 2 is congruent to 3. I would mark it. Helpful to see what we know. If you like to do the givens separate, this is a 4-step proof. If you like to lump your givens together, it's a 3-step proof. You may choose. I'm going to do a 3-step proof. So A parallel to B and angle 2 congruent to angle 3. The reason being it is given. Okay, so there's going to be 3 steps here. What's the last step of your proof going to be? Angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. Okay, question. Are you going to use a converse for that? What are we proving? We're proving congruence. Do you use a converse for congruence? No. When do you use a converse? Lines parallel. So if you're not proving lines parallel, then don't use the converse as your last step. Okay? So this one's not going to be a converse. Look at what we know. It says A is parallel to B. Different than the last one. Now we know they're parallel, which is helpful. We know lots of things when parallel lines happen. And we know that 2 is congruent to 3. We want to prove that this angle is the same as this angle. Anyone see what can get us there?
Same side interior?
Ooh, no. But you're so very close.
Same side exterior.
No. Alternate interior angles. Do you see them? Which ones are alternate interiors? 1 and 2. So you can say angle 1 is congruent to angle 2 because they are alternate interior angles. Why was I allowed to use AIA on this one, but I wasn't on the last one? We know the lines are parallel, okay? If you know the lines are parallel, look for alternate interiors. Look for same side interior. Look for all the different angles we know, okay?
Why would it be same? Oh.
This one right here is not representing the whole angle.
Yeah, I just realized.
Right? And we don't know anything about like supplementary right now, so it wouldn't be real helpful anyway. Okay, so how did I get to then 1 is congruent to 3? Substitution would work, or transitive. If 2 is congruent to 3 and 1 is congruent to 2, take the 2 out that are the same and 1 is congruent to 3. So I would say transitive. If you say substitution, I'm fine with it. So satisfying, right? Well, it is for me. Okay, this one, if you're going to separate your given, it's a 5-step proof. If you're going to put your givens together, it's a 4-step proof. I'm going to put my givens together, so I'm going to make it a 4-step proof. What's my first step? All the given information. C is parallel to D, and angle 1 is congruent to angle 7. Mark it, okay? C is parallel to D. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 7. What are you trying to prove right now? That A is parallel to B. So what should that mean for your last step? It's a converse. If you are proving lines parallel, you're going to use the converse of some theorem. We got to figure out which one. Okay, so don't forget to put what converse at the back end of that. Okay, now the thing to be careful with here, we're trying to prove A is parallel to B, but we don't know that A is parallel to B. Okay, so don't use things that apply to A and B. You can only use things that apply to C and D. I know these two are congruent. Do you see anything that we know to be congruent here?
3,
What were you going to say?
5, and 7.
Okay, you can use either one of those. So 1 and 3 or 5 and 7, they're both going to work for what we're trying to do. I don't really care. Do you see 1 and 3 or 5 and 7 first?
1 and 3.
What did I do? I did 1 and 3. Okay, so I'm just going to go with 1 and 3 because that's what I went with on my notes. I can say angle 1 is congruent to angle 3, but why? Those are corresponding angles, okay? So you can say CA. Because these lines were parallel, corresponding angles are congruent. Okay? So now I've said 1 is congruent to 7, and I've said 1 is congruent to 3. Do you see something else that we can say?
3 and 7 are
3, you can't say CA, but we can say 3 is congruent to 7. Do you know why you can't say corresponding angles for these two?
Why you just flip your paper?
Because you can't
No.
have A and B. 'Cause you don't know the
We don't know that A and B are parallel, so you cannot say corresponding angles because those are a transversal with A and B. You can't do it. We don't know they're parallel.
But we can say it's substitution.
It's substitution or transitive again. 1 is congruent to 7 and 1 is congruent to 3. Take out the 1s. 3 is congruent to 7. So that's the transitive property. Okay, so now look at your markings. If I know that 3 is congruent to 7, then how do I know that the lines are parallel? The converse of corresponding angles. Good job. Oh, you guys, we have so much time still.
Let's play games.
I did one more with my last class. Okay, but listen, hear me. If we don't do this one now, then we're going to do this one on Monday, which is going to give you less time in class on Monday to do your homework. I'm fine with it.
But it's hardest festival today.
I know. I'm not arguing with you. I'm just telling you, here's your options. I do one more now, so we only have 2 to do on Monday, and you get the rest of class on Monday to work on the proof homework. Or we do 3 on Monday, and you just have a little less time in class to work on the homework. What do you want? Who wants? Do one more,
No.
less time on Monday. Raise your hand. Let me count.
So, just do it.
Okay, raise your hand if you want to just be done.
Nike, just do it.
I don't even.
What? You just wanted to really
Oh, my word.
Oh wait, just do it.
Okay, we'll be done.